But without further ado, Kaylin! All right. So what
Dun,
is...
dun, dun, dun. I feel like I need that Elvis music to play in to like bump up the energy as I come in. Well, hopefully Rose did it seems like she did a kind job at saying I was going to come in and inspire you, because from my perspective with the masculine, it feels like it's going to be more of like a talking to. And this is just because this is something that I've seen with a lot of my clients as well, and just people in general that I've been interacting with on a public setting, that a lot of people right now are experiencing a lot of resistance in their lives, more than they have in previous years. And whatever this is, I like to attribute this now because of all of these planetary alignments that are now happening for us. And every single alignment that has happened within the last 3 years up until the next 3 years, they're transformational, and they're transformational for a reason. So I'm going to try to not really just splurge a bunch of astrological terminology at you, because I don't want to lose you the second I say something like Taurus or conjunction or anything like that. So all you really need to know is that February, probably around February 20th, is going to be a massive shift in society. And the reason why I say that is because our planet of transformation is literally going from Sagittarius to Capricorn. Okay. So a little bit of astrology knowledge there, but what this means is we're having a complete rework, a complete shift, a complete death and rebirth cycle of our society. And we've kind of been exploring this a little bit with the last few years, but the last few years has really not necessarily been about society. It's been about our belief systems. It's been about awakening. It's been about, that's why we've seen all of these spiritual gurus or these self-proclaimed gurus popping up in society, is because of us getting to the end of that Sagittarian era with that Pluto. And now we're going into Capricorn. Capricorn's all about restrictions. It's all about government authority. It's about authority, holding power over the collective, over people. It's about trying to establish something that's more traditional, more conventional, something that's borderline archaic, for lack of a better word. And what we're seeing is we're seeing the hypermasculine in society try to squeeze down, try to grasp down on power, on control. You're starting to see this happen. It's happening right underneath our noses. They're creating laws without us voting on them and calling it emergency powers. That's bullcrap. Literally, that is illegal. That is illegal. It goes against our Constitution. Not to get all political, but this is something we're starting to see happen right under our noses, with this alignment, with this change, with this structure of society changing right under us. Then we're also seeing this with examples of the middle class going away. Within the next few years, there's going to be no middle class. No middle class. There's going to be no physical banks. There's going to be a complete shift when it comes to the way that we feed ourselves and the way that we exchange, monetary exchange. I don't know if you've seen, they're trying to move away from physical banks. They want everything to be digital. They're getting rid of cash. They're not allowing you to use cash anymore. They're not allowing you to go sit down at a restaurant and converse with a human being anymore. You sit down at an empty table with a QR code. You order your food by yourself. Some robot can now bring you your food, and we see this happening. I don't know if you have a Chili's where you're at. We see robots bringing food now to the table. You don't even have to interact with human beings. This is the kind of society that we're starting to see come out, and this is because of the hypermasculine, because of the patriarchy. They're feeling this change. We're feeling this change, but so far, it is the hypermasculine that is the only one who's doing something about it, and they're trying to push it back so that they have control over our society. But with this shift, with this alignment, this revolutionary alignment coming in February of 2024, we're going to see, if we don't do anything about it, we're going to see a completely new society that's completely dominated by artificial intelligence, by a social system government, possibly. We're going to see a completely different government. And the reason why this is such a big deal is because this is the chance. Anytime society comes to a brink of a change, this is when it is the most crucial time for the underdogs or for whoever to rise up. This is the time. This is the moment. And the universe keeps sending us signs. It's sending us signs all throughout this year. The women, the feminine energy needs to rise up this year. Because this is what the earth needs. This is what society and community needs. We need to be nurtured. We need to be more creative. We need to hold space that's safe for us to grow and to be who we are. And we all have to do our small parts. And so that is really what I wanted to come into today and talk about, is because this is where all the resistance is coming from. When the universe says, hey, here's this future that's forming right before your eyes. Do you want this? Of course you don't want it. But what is the thoughts that come up in our minds as human beings, as feminine beings? We're thinking, well, I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know what to do yet. I can't even fathom what that's going to be, because the feminine is in the present moment. The feminine is here. Well, right now, I need to survive. Well, right now, this is how I feel. Well, right now, this is what I'm experiencing. And because of that, it's very hard and very easy to lose sight of that future goal, of that future that is being created. And so right now, the universe wants to wake up the feminine. It wants to wake up women. And it is saying, now is the time to face your fears. We just had our zodiac new year on April 21st. And that new year was the zodiac's new year, where the earth is saying, okay, now is the time to be fearless. Now is the time to be aggressive. Now is the time to be assertive. Now is the time to hit the pedal and go, 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 go. And now we've just had this shift. Well, we're going to have this shift. You'll feel it probably starting around tonight or tomorrow, where now we're starting to, we're kind of a little bit burnt out with the go, go, go. We're a little bit burnt out with forcing and pushing and pushing. So now we're coming into this energy that's more about sustainment. How can you nourish yourself? How can you build a foundation under your feet so that you're not feeling like you're like stuck in the middle of the ocean and you don't know where you're going anymore? That's what this time is about. And this time, when you're creating a foundation and you're creating a structure under your feet, because of all the planetary lines that are going on right now, they're saying you have to do the work. This is the time, and there's no other time, because we have 6 months. We have 6 months left until we really start to see this new society take hold. 6 months is not a lot of time, but also it is a lot of time. It's not a lot of time to sit around and wait, but it is a lot of time to actually do something and to bring change. Now, I'm not asking you to save the world. I'm not asking you, right, to go and storm the Capitol or whatever, do something crazy. I'm not asking you to do any of that stuff, okay? What I'm asking you to do is look at, and I'm asking you to do this because we're also in the middle of eclipse season, and eclipse seasons are really just hard for everyone, emotionally especially. But right now, what I'm asking you to do is to take a look at what is it that you want to create for you. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to create for your life, for you as an individual? And later on, you can think about how this is going to benefit other people. But right now, you need to feel fulfilled in your life. You need to feel like you have some stability in your life. And I'm not talking about just finding out a way to become rich. That's not what I mean by stability. I mean, what grounds you? What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel like you know exactly what you want to do, what you need to do, and you have the energy and the resources to do it. That is what this energy, these alignments right now are all about. And this is the time. that you have to do the stuff you don't want to do. Why? Because the universe is asking you to, because humanity is asking you to, because you've already spent years of your life trying to figure out who you are, what you want to do. And a lot of us here in the spiritual community, or a lot of us in the personal development community, a lot of us have positive bias, right? We say, oh, life's really not that bad. We find that's like the beautiful side of us, where like we always find something to have enjoyment over. But we have to come to reality. We have a hard aspect right now with Saturn. Don't want to lose you. A hard aspect to our discernment planet, our responsible planet, our realistic planet. And right now, we have to be realistic. We have to look at the world for face value, see what it is that's actually going on right now, and hold responsibility over our personal actions, for our personal ambitions. And no one else can do it for you. Right now, this for the next, at least for the next 5 weeks, there's a lot of supported energy for you to create your foundation. These next 5 weeks, now the universe is on your side right now to say, hey, let's just get the work done. Go at your own pace. Don't feel like you have to rush. But don't hear that and think, okay, well, then I've got time to kind of, I've got time. Like, go at a pace that is feasible for you. But don't get lazy, okay? This energy, it's very easy to get stuck in a rut during these next 6 weeks. It's very easy to get very combative. It's very easy to want to butt heads with people. It's very easy to feel like you don't have enough money, you don't have enough food, and you don't have enough abundance in your life right now. Totally normal these next 6 weeks, but this is what you're cultivating. And if all you have to do, and Rose's favorite word, she hates this word, you just have to do this, okay, right? You just really hone in on what is it that you're trying to create. What do you need to create it? What is in your way of getting the resources that you need to create it? And then come up with a plan. At least if you have some plan, even if it's a bad plan, as long as you have something, you will be able to move forward with confidence. You'll be able to move forward, and the universe will have your back. You just need to move. You just need to progress. Just. Even if it's a small thing. But this is the time when we all have to do this. And this is a self-check-in for me. I'm kind of like I'm kind of talking to myself as well. I'm yelling at myself right now. You got to do the hard thing, sir. Right? Like someone like smack me around, like tell me like because I need to do this as well. But for a lot of us, this resistance is coming in right now. You're facing yourself right now. You are your own biggest enemy during eclipse season. And eclipse season lasts about 6 months. Wow. That's the amount of time that we have, right? So I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want to this is not a doom and gloom speech. This is not a doom and gloom speech. This is to say the planetary alignments that are coming in February of 2024, particularly the second half of February, that's when things are going to shift. That's when things are going to change. And right now is the preparatory phase for that change. So because there's going to be change, whether we want it or not, we get to dictate what that change is. And I strongly believe, and I strongly want and hope and wish and dream that change is going to be a shift into a more feminine society, a more nurtured society, a society that actually fixes the problem and stops slapping band-aids on things and calling it good. No, you can't fix everything with duct tape. I'm sorry. It's great, but you can't. We've been doing that for far too long, right? So again, I'm not asking you to change the world. I'm not asking you to change your partner. I'm not asking you to save the world. I'm not asking you to go and protest. I'm asking you to do the part that you know you were born to do. That's it. Everything else will fall into place. And the people around you are really going to start to get inspired when you start doing the stuff that you're supposed to be doing. Because the second we're around people that are like killing it every single day or whatever, it makes them think. It makes them go, oh, geez, why am I not doing that?
Mhm.
Anytime Rose hits a success mark, I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't be more prouder. But there's a part of my human side that goes, shoot, well, what am I doing for myself? Why haven't I done that? Right? And it inspires me to just light the fire under my butt so that I do something. And then I go, look what I did. And then I share it with her, right? That is what the whole point is. But you can only take accountability for yourself. And if you need help, that's what Rose is for. That's what this community is for. That's what I'm for. Because you can't do things on your own. You have to do the things you're responsible for. Like no one else can do it for you. You can do it, but we need support. And if you need support, you need support. And that's what we're all here to do. If you need, I need someone to smack me around. If anyone wants to raise their hand and you want to smack me around, that's fine. Thank you. But like, what is it that you need? Again, what do you need to accomplish your goals? A part of that might be a person to give you tough love. A part of that might be someone to hold you when you cry. Maybe it's not tough love. When they do psychology studies on leadership, there's only really 3 main ways to instill leadership, and that's to give someone tough love, to give someone nurturance, and allow them the time to figure things out on their own. Or there's the third option, which is the person who just needs a sounding board, needs to hear the good options, and then needs to feel like they came up with it themselves. And that is totally fine as well, right?
Well, anything final on that? Because you're 10 minutes
That's it.
up. You're up.
That's it. I know I talked for a little bit.
Well, thank you for being the tough love.
Yeah.
I'll now be the nurturer.
Okay. Bye, everybody. I got to go do a reading, but I adore you all.